Okay, are we recording? Hope not, because I am not ready. Let's ruin some takes, shall we? Let's do it. It's confession time. Breathe in and breathe out.
Honestly, I bet those LinkedIn bros are shaking right now. They're like, oh my God, this doesn't belong. Well, you know what? This is what the people want, so shut up.
Hello! I'm Penny, the content lead here at Contentu.
I'm Nika, the content marketeer at Contentu, and this is Permission to Rant. So welcome. Let's do an energy check.
Okay.
How are you feeling?
I am at a solid 9 today. I'm having a great time.
Okay. Well, I feel like, I'm an 8. I'm good. I'm chilling, but I'm still tired. It's Friday.
Vibes are high.
Yeah, vibes are high, but she's a tired girl.
Okay, well, in order to cleanse this energy before we get into the topic of the day,
meditation.
Let's do a little meditation moment.
Breathe in and breathe out.
Release the phrase, we need more thought leadership.
Posting every day is not the same as saying something.
Facts. You are not a content machine. You are a person with a point of view.
Welcome. You have permission to rant.
Woo!
Let's go.
Let's
rant session.
Okay, Nika, tell me, this week in marketing.
This week in marketing. 68% of successful B2B marketers are putting more money into expert-led content.
So, people who actually know things are writing about things. This is good.
Honestly.
It's great.
They're writing about it in a way that makes it obvious that they know them.
Revolutionary.
I know, actually.
But why this actually matters now, it's a big deal. AI can generate any easy content.
Anything and everything.
Yeah. If I'm asking chat or Google or anything, how do I do X? The AI summary is going to give me a neat little answer very quickly.
Yeah.
So
about any topic.
Literally. And it's for free. So what AI cannot do is replicate someone's actual way of thinking.
Have an opinion.
Or your actual angle. Not how do you do X, but how does Nika do X, for example?
How does Nika think about X?
Yeah.
They don't know.
That you can say that no one else can say really in the exact same way, except maybe me, because we are the same person.
Yeah, that's true. We do have the same brain.
Yeah. So this is an opportunity for us now with the world of AI.
Yeah.
We can now we can have a real competitor against AI is the thought leadership.
Yeah, and your opinion matters. People actually care about it. They don't care about 3 tips to optimize your website. They don't care about that. They want to hear it in your voice. They want to hear why you think these are the best 3 ways to optimize your website. And also from what experience, based on what?
Yeah.
We want to know. Tell us your story.
Yeah, because in marketing, there is no guideline rule book, playbook, even though everybody on LinkedIn will pretend there is. There isn't. There isn't some
playbook.
Bible telling us this is the way to do it, because there isn't. It's all possibilities. And I feel nowadays we need to bring it back to reality and show what we actually...
Let's go back to our roots. The storyteller roots.
Exactly.
With the walls and the hand painting,
So someone actually asked us recently, because we have managed to... We did a pilot last year, and then we've managed to scale up our thought leadership to 10 people within our team. And as we know, it's not just a concept. We're not here to talk to you about why thought leadership is important. You know that.
You know.
I know that. We all understand the need.
Know that.
So what we do need to talk about is how the hell do you do it? How do you actually set up the process?
Let's go.
First
of all, let's put one thing on the table. What thought leadership is not. Okay, so thought leadership is not posting on a daily basis on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Posting a meme here and there.
Volume is not authority.
No.
Doesn't matter if you're just posting. If you're not posting with a cohesive message and a consistent way of showing up and trying to build authority in a specific niche, it's useless.
And it's definitely not copy and pasting a post from ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, whatever you like. Yeah. That's not thought leadership either.
And if someone approaches you and says, we need to do thought leadership, which we've talked about in a previous episode, it's the problem with that is that it's vague. And as we all know, in the content processes, if briefing is vague, then the output is never going to be in line with what we expect.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly.
We love to say this.
And that's how you end up with 5 people posting on LinkedIn that you've enabled, or whatever channel, that you've enabled and they're actually causing damage because one person is saying X, the other person is saying they hate X.
Yeah.
Like you need to make sure that we're aligned and we have the vision clear from the beginning.
There needs to be a workflow. Once again, we love workflows.
Exactly. So we talk a little bit about when we were making this pilot, we talked a lot about how the funnel is dead. But really, obviously, the funnel is not dead.
No.
Like it still makes sense to create content with the funnel in mind.
It's just evolved.
It's evolved. People find you in a different way now. And it's like they might follow the podcast. They might see a clip. They might subscribe to a newsletter. They might talk to a friend. They might see us at a booth at an event.
Yeah.
And we can't really track all of that. And all of those touch points are still so valid and important. And like, it's not a neat little funnel. We can shove people down and nurture their little way down. It's very much a web.
Yeah, we like to think about it a web because it's like, there's still that aspect of all the different channels and all the different ways and moments in which your prospect / client / audience sees you.
Yeah.
But it's just that now it's not like the funnel, like,
Super
neatly, neatly goes into this like step by step. No, it's like,
it's
everywhere.
all over the place and it's fragmented, and we called it the web of trust. Which
I think it's pretty nice.
I think we should put the visual like here.
Yeah, we'll put it
if
somewhere.
if you're watching us on YouTube, there will be a nice visual of our web of trust.
And if you're not, go on YouTube so you can see the web of trust.
Yeah, guys, why are you not watching us on YouTube? We're so much cooler
we already
there.
said this.
Anyway, what we want to talk about today is how we actually built our thought leadership program.
Yes.
So let's get into it. We'll give you a simple framework and hopefully you can repeat this. Obviously, your company is different. You're dealing with different stakeholders. So take it with a pinch of salt.
And
this
adapt
is what
it.
we've done.
Yeah.
So step one, tell me, Nika, what did we do to start it off?
Step one was define what you're actually doing.
Yes.
Like also, you want to know what you're bringing to people before you do it. Okay.
Yeah.
So first of all, we started with the pilot. We weren't just like straight on going and asking for a tool for thought leadership. Like, oh yeah, this is going to work. Let's just get a tool.
Or writing posts for 20 people.
Yeah.
Like we didn't start with a huge group
Exactly.
either.
So
Yeah.
we started with 5 people.
Yeah.
We decided to pick the people that we thought would make the most sense for our brand in that moment in time.
Yeah.
Also thinking about the fact that we wanted to expand. But like first we started with like our CEO, our CPO. He has such a great point of view and he's like in the conversations, building the nitty gritty.
People with subject matter expertise and who have great reach.
Who wanted to also very important. As we said in the episode about clownery, it's so important to pick people who are actually excited about it because they will do it and they won't be shy.
Exactly. It's so important to get that buy-in because like this is already a new thing. So like you want to have the path of least resistance. So like pick people who are excited about it, who are engaged. If they've shared a post before, great. But the goal has to be really clear from the beginning. We set the target that the whole quarter, last Q4, I think, the whole point of this plan was just to get people posting.
Just building
to set up the process so that it was something we could do, that they got comfortable with. You're putting yourself out there. It's hard and it's LinkedIn. It's like your personal living CV, but also a social media platform. So you want to be careful about what you share and people can be hesitant, which is fair. So enabling them, giving them the confidence was the first step.
But also we decided the structure before. So we were like, okay, what would this actually look like? And we came up with a workflow because you also want to bring it to people when you're like, this is how it's going to work. Not like, oh, hey, we're thinking about this thing. And like, I don't know, you're going to post on LinkedIn and we'll help you. I don't know.
We did all the work beforehand. We made a Notion hub, which is our thought leader Notion hub. We can share that if people are interested, maybe a little template because it is really nice. And then we just made like an expectation of what we want from everybody. Yeah. We made a deck and we did a kickoff. But only when we had all that ready. So we had already had meetings ourselves. We'd already had separate meetings with each person to talk to them about their persona and how they consume content and what they like. Yeah. And only then when we had that, we made a really nice deck, not too long, that explained the story.
Short and sweet, like we like to say.
Yeah.
So step 2 was making that case to leadership.
Yes.
So that was us preparing a deck, preparing all the data points that were important for them to know. Because it's not like we just wanted to ask them, hey, we want to make you a thought leader and start posting on LinkedIn. We want to show them why it's important. You have to get the buy-in from them. And you can only do that with data and evidence that this works.
Exactly. And it depends on the audience. Like someone like Thomas, he's VP of GTM, but let's say he's a CMO for ease.
In a way.
Like he is someone who gets why he was like, we need to do thought leadership. I didn't need to explain to him why thought leadership is worth investing our time in because he already knew that. Whereas our CEO is not a marketer and he needs to be taken on the story. So we started with a really big statistic, like why talking about how people build trust and how it's not the funnel anymore, the web of trust. And we had a huge statistic that said 82% of buyers say that thought leadership increased their trust in a vendor. We talked a lot about in the deck about how really we're in the business of trust, and that when people trust you, they're more likely to buy. We're not trying to sell. We are trying to build trust and make them safe with us so they like us. And then when they want to enter the market, we're here.
Yeah,
we're ready
like
for them.
keeping them warm, you know?
Yeah. So people don't trust companies, but they do trust people. And when we show up with actually helpful things to say, with a real point of view, not a regurgitated AI slop fake POV, then people tend to build like a positive association with you, or negative depending on your views. But like that's what we're trying to do, is to build the trust. And we actually held a recent roundtable, and it was really nice because one of our like friends of content too, Stefan from Snitcher, shout out my guy.
Shout out.
He mentioned like how we talked about how building the trust and those in-person things and like following the people over the company. And he actually mentioned like listening to the podcast or reading one of our Substacks is way more interesting and helpful to him, or that in-person roundtable we hosted. He said he learned way more in that day than he had in any other guide or webinar he'd ever interacted with. So it shows a trend that people are like leaning away from the brand, the blogs, the long form content, the stuff that is owned by a generic face, and instead going to perspective-led human content. How does Nika do things?
Like a lot of people say, like people trust people. You know, like I think I've seen that so many times on LinkedIn. Like people trust people, not just brands.
Same way word of mouth is still the best way for you to ever get like a customer, is because people just trust humans better than anything. And one other thing is good to mention is that when we did this pitch, we also had to talk about other benefits. Like, for example, our CEO, he cares about our personal brand and hiring top talent. That's like one of his real big goals. So we also mentioned how like putting ourselves out there builds the brand. And once you have strong voices, you attract strong talent. And it's made a difference.
Yeah,
genuinely.
We've actually seen that happen with people sending us messages being like, hey, actually, like I applied to this role at Content too because it looks like such a fun company to work at. I love the vibes that you guys give off. So it's positive, not just in terms of thought leadership, like, oh, you're the expert in this field, but also in showing what your company represents, who you are, what it looks like to be there, you know, and in showing the actual brand.
Personality showing, oh, I like him. He's the CEO. He seems
fun.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. And that's really nice. And it feels more authentic than like brand video or something.
Yeah. So it's not just about marketing. It's also about HR and people.
There's so many things that your thought leadership can do, but it's important, to communicate that. And not every stakeholder needs to know every benefit. So it's important to tailor that, like we spoke about in our last episode. But
step three.
Step 3.
Give everyone a niche, not a brief. Yes. So actually, I think this is really amazing because a thing that we do wrong in marketing teams, I think, is to just be like, so we're in the marketing niche, so you can just talk about marketing in your thought leadership, and that's what you have to be a thought leader on. And it's not just about that. Yeah. Like, you have to show your personality. Like, I don't really care about people that are just giving necessarily only marketing advice. I care about those that I can see their personality and I can see their perspective and
the way they're thinking.
Yeah,
as well.
Exactly. Like that bring me on that journey of the story of, like, you know, like we were saying before, it's not just about how you're doing something or what you're doing. Yeah. But it's also to hear your perspective and why you think it's working and how you approached it.
Your actual experiences and those like little insights that only you can share. Like, that's what we want. So when we talk to everybody, we mapped out their voices, how they like all like relate to each other, so that we ended up with 5 really distinct voices, one brand, still with one messaging. We have our content pillars. Obviously, we won't lean on those. Yeah. And when we talk about content, we lean into those things. But at the same time, we're all humans, and I like resonate a lot with people who share more than just work things. Yeah. And like for me, I think it's really nice to share like, oh, my experiences in imposter syndrome or being a big sis advice, like getting that sort of element to it as well, and not just like, here's how Contentu did X, but more like all the problems I faced when doing this or whatever, you know? I think that's way more interesting to consume.
People want to see the truth behind the work as well. And I think that's what is also so nice, that you can have your own niche and you can be a thought leader without having to be rigid, the expert. Like, for example, I think for myself, like I really love to talk about the world of content and marketing, but sometimes I have imposter syndrome because I'm not 5 years into my career. But like, you don't have to be the most knowledgeable person in the world of marketing to have an opinion.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much better to just like talk about what you know and talk about what you feel and what you're going through and just say it how it is. Like, don't try to be this fake person who's trying to be a preacher or
claiming to know something that you don't. Like taking insights from AI or the internet and claiming that it's something you know. Like, it just feels inauthentic. And like that, I think that's a really good point because there's a lot of, I think, misunderstanding that thought leadership has to be expert sharing. And of course, like we said, experts are sharing, which is what we want. And you are your own expert in things. But you're also your expert in what you do every day, of what your work is. So like if you just share your experiences in that, like you're the expert of your own life. And like I think we all think it has to be some older, like senior person who has anything to share. But like something that you learned along the way, that senior stakeholder might have forgotten about because of they haven't had to deal with that in so long. And it might really resonate with them because they remember when they were struggling with that. And there might be someone who's like new to marketing and it's like, wow, oh my God, I love Nika because her content makes me feel like I actually have a place in marketing. That I don't have to be this rigid suit wearing, like jargon speaking robot, that I can actually be my girly pop self. And still be a great marketer.
And still be taken seriously. Because actually, this is something me and Penny were talking about recently.
Always.
Like, it's so much more cool to be yourself and embrace your personality and embrace who you are. Like, I'm a little bit weird in the sense that, like, I'm not a very like shy standard person. I like to be playful and bubbly.
Bubbly energy doesn't mean that you don't have the smarts to back it up. And that's something that I think women who are like, they choose to be light and friendly and fun, people misunderstand that for like lack of experience or expertise just because you're not like robotified. You know?
And I think people forget that it's like, it's not like being serious and sounding like this serious expert is what makes people respect you.
It's not.
People respect people if you show who you really are. If you just show your true self behind your content, like people are going to like that. People are going to relate to that. And you never know. Exactly. You might think like, oh, but this is too niche, or like, what if people don't find it relatable? But it will reach the right people. It will reach your people, and that's so much more valuable.
And if you can stick by it, then that's all that matters. Like, obviously, we're talking about our own personal brands here. We're not talking about your company's like profile. You obviously need to follow your brand standards.
Of course.
But at the same time, like, if you can stand by your content, then like that's good enough. So take that into account. Like, because if it's authentic to you and it resonates with you, eventually it will get to the people. And if it doesn't, just keep going.
That's a learning.
It will eventually,
also.
And you'll learn along the way. So that's something to remember.
And at least you won't look back and say like, what was I doing? Because at least you were true to yourself. And you know what? Yeah, maybe it was a bit cringe, but I was also cringe. So at least it's me.
At the time, I loved it. And that's all that matters.
That's all
it's
that
like
matters.
The outfits you wear. You know, back in the day, you're like, I probably wouldn't wear that now. But like,
in the day?
At the time, that was
cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
I promise.
Then.
Final.
Step 4. Build the system so it actually runs. So don't build a system that you have to like divide yourself into 4 people to make it happen. Like build something that will work and that is sustainable, not just for them, but for you as well.
It's like the same with starting any program. You have to think about the how. And that's like a really important part. So be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you sign up for. If you're going to kick this off, you have to have the processes to back it up. So we started with a Notion hub with a list of prompts, templates, themes, and a full content calendar. We also made some mini agents at the time for specific people. We had a Slack channel for everybody to share their content and share ideas and engage. And then once we proved enough value after the 3-month pilot, we then invested in a tool this year. And it's actually a great little tool called Hey You. This is not an ad or a sponsor.
Shout out though.
We just love them. And we have a discount code. So if you want it, let us know. We might even put it in the show notes.
Yeah, maybe in the description. I don't know.
Generous.
Or DM us if it's not there. We'll have to think about it.
Anyway, the whole point is that the system is about removing friction so people can post. If they have to start from scratch every single time, cognitive load is too much. You have to make it easy for them, but also for you. You cannot ghostwrite everyone's posts. I've tried it. We've done a lot of this trial and error stuff.
It's exhausting and it's bad because you're not that person. Like if I'm trying to write for our CPO, I don't know how to do it. I'm not there in his brain and I don't know all the things he knows, so I can't do it.
Yeah, and that's why it's like great. Like I can interview him and then I can whip something up and I can always polish things, but I think it's so much better to co-create together or them to do it first and then we review or whatever. But yeah, it's you want to make it easy for them and also easy for you and efficient. So think about the process. Don't be tied to it either. Like if it's not working, you can always pivot and find a new way. And nobody should be following the processes for sake of process. If people are independently posting, you should be wanting that.
Great.
Don't be blocking everybody. Like also because it's their personal brand as well. Give them the freedom to fail. If you don't necessarily like every post, that's okay. As long as it's not actively working against your brand or the narrative that you're trying to build, let them be free. Like let
don't
them
be a blocker.
find their niche. So don't be a control freak. Once you've like enabled everything, let go. Just let it go.
Yeah.
Because
it feels so good.
Yeah, you can't be in control of everything. And it's a project that should be able to then run and then hopefully scale, which is what we're hoping to do next. We scaled from 5 to 10 people. We're not going to lie and say everyone's posting. They're not.
No.
Some people are not haven't have that bigger barrier to entry. So something we're actively always going to be working on.
Yeah, and it's intimidating. Like I was so intimidated by posting on LinkedIn. I didn't want to do it. But like now I'm loving it. I'm like,
exactly. You just got to get comfortable with it and then it makes things a lot easier.
So we have commandments.
As always, now we have our thought leadership, but make it work. Commandments.
But make it work.
Okay. Commandment number 1. Start with a pilot, not a program. Like we said.
Yeah.
Take a subset of people who make sense, most likely leadership, people who have a personality and have something to share.
Don't invest straight away in a tool. See first who's going to do it, how they're going to do it, if they're doing it well, if they like it.
Small steps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 2, explain the impact and the goals up front.
Yes.
So you want to be clear. Feed them that information. Like, do it as if they were 5. Not because they're 5, but because just tell them all they need to know. They don't need to know everything.
When they're attached to the impact, they feel a lot more like ownership over it. So like they're hyped up and excited. When we explained the thought leadership program to our CEO, we took him on this journey, explained all the things we had mentioned earlier about why we need to build trust and blah, blah, blah. And once he knew that, like it was so actually really nice for us because we obviously were maybe a little bit nervous showing our CEO this thing we're asking of him. It's a lot for him to do. And we're asking clearly like what we need from you every week, blah, blah, blah. And so taking them on that journey and then them being like, great, now I understand. I'm ready to go. Yeah. That's the most important thing.
Also, give people a niche, not a brief. So once again, let people find their voice. Let them find what they like to do, what they like to talk about. Like, I love the fact that on my personal brand, I can post like Taylor Swift lyrics and memes.
Let them find their feet.
It gives me the freedom to want to do it because then I'm like, oh my God, yeah, this post is so good. I love it.
Yeah.
And I'm not just posting, oh, I'm content to blah, blah, blah. Like, no.
Not content to. We do blah, blah, blah.
No,
never.
That's not me. And if I had to behave in that way and do thought leadership in that way, I probably wouldn't do it because it's just not my personality. I hate that.
You have to put on a face. So yeah.
Yeah. If you ask me to do it, let me do it in my way.
Yeah. Now, next one, pitch trust, not vibes. We don't need to dive into this one. You already know. We already said it. When you're selling it internally, you need to make them understand what we're doing. Use the right language as well. Like if you're talking to your CEO, you need to make him understand how this impacts things because he's maybe not a marketer and you need to explain that. So that's a big one. And then the final,
build the system before you scale.
Yes.
So once again, don't just make a messy workflow just because you want to get everybody to start posting already.
Like and then layer more on top.
Yeah. Like first, figure it out with a few people, see how it would work, and then scale it so that you're not bringing a messy, drastic workflow to people that then will make them be like, what are we doing?
Yes. Make the workflow work.
Yeah.
And then the final thing is like kind of a commandment, but more of just like an advice. Consistency beats virality. Every time, 3 posts a week over 6 months beats 1 viral post and nothing else. One-offs just don't work. Like if one person is posting and they get 1 post and it's great, like that doesn't do anything because he disappears. You need to be building like awareness and like recall. Like people need to see you multiple times for it to hit. There's some I should have prepped the metric, but it's like don't people have to see you like 10 times before they remember you or something?
Let's put this metric here.
And if you're listening on Spotify, sorry. Now, Nika, I think. What time is it?
What? It's confession time. Let's go. Oh, confess. Okay. Confess your sins. Okay.
Back again. Nika has a confession for us.
I'm always confessing. Guys, you know all my secrets.
Tell me.
Okay. So, actually, I was not and did not want to be a thought leader ever. I just wanted to like post things that I like and like my opinion and my point of view and share my experience.
And
like
find a cool angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if anybody knows. Maybe they do. If you know me, you know I love to post Taylor Swift lyrics but like make it marketing. So this actually happened in the most chill way. It's like me walking home from the gym, listening to Taylor, and then I'm like, this is so relatable. Yeah, I feel this. I felt this today in this meeting. And then I was like, wait a second, because I started seeing this pattern with more and more lyrics of like, oh, I can relate this to this moment. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to sit down and like make this post. And it went viral and people loved it and they find it so relatable and they're like, oh my God, haha, totally. And it's not like I was like, oh yeah, now I want to write a post because I'm going to show how much I know about marketing. And
no, it was like
it was
a
just
low
a
effort
fun time.
You literally were just like loving it. Like when we
Yeah.
talked about the idea, you were like, oh my God, yes. And then when we like review it, you're like, we're both like vibing off each other, riffing to find the best like captions. And it just like was something you were excited about.
Yeah.
And like it was a real creative exercise for you. And it went super well. Like
yeah.
150,000 impressions.
And the
or something
Swifties found
crazy.
it, and the marketing Swifties were like, "Oh my God, crossover of a lifetime!"
This is the thing about the Swifties; they are the most
Love
like
you.
dedicated group of fans ever.
We're the best.
A great way to like, get your niche is like picking fandom is a
Yeah.
great way to lean into it if you are a fan of something.
Or pop culture, like
Yeah.
leaning into that is always good. If
Finding
you're like
something.
a person who is interested in that world and like you can find a cool angle to it, like why not?
Yeah, like the people who follow Nika, it's like the Venn diagram. It's like marketers,
Yeah,
Swifties,
Swiftie.
and then it's like overlap.
And then pop culture girly.
yeah. So the thing is, like, you don't have to always like actively go to try to find your niche. Like sometimes, like, really, actually, creativity allows you to just find that naturally.
Yeah.
So try not to force it. The whole thing is
No.
not manufacturing virality
Yeah.
or a niche. Like, just be authentic to yourself.
Yeah.
Follow the thread that you're in. Pull that thread.
Exactly.
Keep following that, and then most likely the people who resonate with it will come. They'll find you.
I wasn't like,
Build it
I'm
and they shall
gonna
come.
market on the Taylor Swift marketing girlies. I was just like, I'm a Swiftie. I like this. I'm gonna post it. And then people liked it because, once again, I was being myself and authentic to what I like. And that's all that matters.
Yeah. So it's important that you're not trying to manufacture AI generated or like boring, fluffy, like low quality thought leadership. You have to think about, I have an opinion. I want to share it. How can I enable that and go from there? So everyone's talking about thought leadership, guys. Most teams have a vague intention and literally nothing to back it up. So I hope after this episode now, you understand the importance of the system of starting small and ramping up and not trying to do everything yourself.
Yeah.
That's super important.
And embrace who you are. Like, a lot of people find Taylor Swift cringe and her music, but I like it and I don't care. And so be true to yourself and what you like. Don't be shy. Don't be scared of like people judging you. Also, because actually, if you're scared that people are going to be judging you or think you're weird,
You should
then
probably
it
do it.
means you're doing something worth talking about.
Yeah, lean into the discomfort because I
Yeah.
think I'm trying to do that this year as well. Is like just lean into things that I'm afraid of, like not necessarily actually phobias. I'm claustrophobic, so I'm not.
But
gonna
like
be blocking myself.
anxiety things,
But
you
like,
know?
yeah, if it scares me a little bit, but it's kind of that excited scared, not
Means
like
it's cool.
fear. Then it's like I probably want to do it. I'm just holding myself
Yeah.
back. So that's one thing to take into account. Like, do the thing.
Woo, go, girl.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.